You are watching The View from Hampton U, exploring Hampton University's rich history, the past, present, and promising future.
Well, it's the end of another successful school year, Stephanie, and it ended with the 144th annual commencement last month.
Wow, 144 years of graduating some of the world's brightest young people is truly something to be proud of.
Most definitely, and the commencement speaker was amazing.
Yes, the Honorable John Charles Thomas is such a prolific speaker. He's also a retired Justice of the Supreme Court of Virginia and a prolific poet who's been featured at Carnegie Hall. And
did you memorize his entire bio?
Actually, I did, and there's so much more I can tell you about him,
but instead, we're going to give our audience a chance to hear a portion of the commencement address.
I think that's a great idea. You're watching The View from Hampton U.
Even though our affection draws us to want to stay here, the truth of the matter and the nature of things is that time moves only forward, and in the vortex of times, we are pushed from where we are into the future. And so on a day like this, you're something like the trapeze artist who is caught in midair. You let go of one trapeze, the other one is in sight, but you haven't gotten there yet, and at that moment, you are almost suspended in time. But the trapeze artist has something going for him. He has momentum, which means that if he let go at just the right time, with just the right amount of speed, at just the right angle, he's going to reach the next place and grab hold. You are in a similar situation, graduates, here at Hampton today, because at Hampton, you have gotten into the intellectual swing of things. You have engaged your mind. You have learned how to think. You've come to grips with your coursework. You've been tested, you studied, you hit your marks. You worked hard to make it through Dr. Carolyn Morgan's math class. You struggled through Dr. Marilyn Salisbury's pharmacy class on drug interaction. Oh yeah, you did. And you had to understand the cycles of history in Professor Robert Watson's history class. Oh yeah. In other words, each one of you has done all the things that you needed to do to prepare for this moment, and so you leave Hampton at the top of your game, and just like the trapeze artist, you are leaving Hampton with the momentum of achievement pushing you, which means that all you gotta do is reach out, and you're gonna reach the next level. All you got to do is have faith that when you let go with what you have already, you're going to be propelled to the next stop. Oh yeah, all you got to do is believe I have enough in me. I have enough from where I come from to go on to change the world. And our world needs change. Today in our nation and around the world, we face stark realities of fellow citizens who are deeply concerned about tomorrow. Will there be jobs? Can I feed my family? Can I educate my children? Can I make it? Will war never end? Will there ever be peace on earth? All around the world, there are some on the verge of hopelessness, some cold, some hungry, many uneducated, some have never known freedom. And here, even at home in America, with all our blessings, we still have children who can barely read, students who have no idea of current events, no appreciation of history, no competence in science. Some kill each over a pair of shoes and over messages that are sent over the internet. And they have no idea how to force change. But despite all these dismal headlines and despite all the difficulties that we see, the message I bring to you is still a message of hope. Because this graduating class of Hampton that I look out upon here, this graduating class with all your youthful energy, all the resolve, all the energy that is within you, you have the power to make a difference in this dismal world. And so I say to you that because you are architects, you can build. Because you are engineers, you can construct new designs. Because you are teachers, you can bring the children into knowledge. Because you are nurses, you can heal the sick. Because you are scientists, you can find new cures. Because you are soldiers, because you're going to be lawyers, because you are innovators, you got what it takes to grab the nation by the scruff of its neck and turn it around. But you might say to me, Justice, I'm just one person. How can I do it just by myself? How can one person change anything? But then if you ask me that question, you're not understanding the nature of Hampton. Because it's not the one that makes the difference. It's the individuals working together, linked together by the power that Hampton has, that gives you the real power to change the world. And so what I'm saying to you is, you can't eat a Big Mac in one bite. You never could. It takes little bites at big problems that can change the world. And so if each and every one of you acts with fairness, honor, fortitude, determination, excellence everywhere you go, then America will feel the collective weight of the class of 2014 from Hampton. And so that means that the plight of the world and all the things we've talked about, that shouldn't turn you around. That shouldn't turn you off. That should motivate you. That should make you say, this is my time. This is when the world needs the spirit of the blue and the white. This is the moment when I turn to myself and I ask myself, do I have what it takes to make a difference? And then you say to yourself, yes, I do, and yes, I can. And you will remember from your philosophy courses that it has long been said that all it takes for evil to prevail in the world is for good men and women to sit down and be quiet. And you'll remember from physics that the second law of thermodynamics says that a system to which no energy is applied devolves into chaos. What does that mean in this world? That means that if you don't do it, if you don't demand justice, demand hope, demand equality, demand fairness, make it happen, it's not going to happen, because the world will not change on its own. And so we ask you to be fearless in pursuit of making America the more perfect union that the Constitution wrote about at its very beginning. You have accomplished so much while you were here, and what you do next depends on what you are and what you think and what you try to do and what you hope to do. It depends on a whole lot of conditions, and the conditional is if. If you're brave, if you're courageous, if you're thoughtful, if you just go out there, if you raise your hand, if you say, I will, if you use what you've learned, if you are good, if you do all these things, if you can keep your head while all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you can walk with crowds and keep your virtue, or talk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then the song that is Hampton will sing within you, and the hope that is Hampton will not be undone. 2014 graduates of Hampton, if you love Hampton like you say you do, like we know you do, then you cannot but help let your lives do the singing in service that will thy great spirit prolong. I love you. God bless you.
We'll be back with more from Commencement 2014 at Hampton University.
When I found out that I had prostate cancer, I thought it was the end of the world. My wife broke down and cried.
The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute is treating prostate, breast, lung, pediatric, brain, and other cancers with the most precise form of radiation treatment available.
Proton therapy made it a wonderful life. It really did.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with cancer, call the Proton Therapy Institute at 877-251-6838.
Great day to be alive.
And now more from Hampton University's 2014 commencement.
Graduates of 2014, I am proud to look out among you, to look in your faces, proud because as your president, I celebrate your accomplishments. It is now your responsibility to determine the kind of life that you will lead and create a place for yourself in this ever-changing world. As you depart Hampton University, I challenge you, each in your own way, to allow your academic experiences at Hampton to serve as the foundation upon which you build productive careers. Allow your social interaction with faculty, staff, administrators, and your fellow students to guide you as you interact with individuals in the workplace and in society. And allow the university's commitment to be a model for your commitment back to yourselves, your family, your community, and your alma mater. It is my desire for you to live richly, satisfying, personal lives, filled with love and laughter, to find ways to make your community a better place for yourselves and your neighbors. I want you to grow and continue learning for the rest of your lives. Remember that you are conquerors and you have the courage and the strength to overcome any obstacle that is set before you. Graduates, each of you has successfully completed multiple years of rigorous training and skill development to earn your place in this ceremony. The regalia that you're wearing, the traditions that we are observing, attest to your proven readiness for success. You have done well. Now, you have a different job to do. For the greatest things have not been done. The greatest picture has not been painted. The greatest book has not been written. The greatest song is yet unsung. There is a job for you, graduating class of 2014, in every single occupation known to man. It is your responsibility to make something happen. My charge to you, our cherished graduates, is to see the horizon not as a limit, but as an invitation. The torch has been passed to you with the expectation that you will hold it higher and carry it farther, than those who have walked before you. My solemn hope and greatest wish as you depart our home by the sea, as that you do for the world what your alma mater has done for you. Impart knowledge, share wisdom, nurture and guide, and maintain the highest ethical standards in all that you do. Be true to yourselves and hone that truth in others. I urge you to do several other things. Number one, pay yourself first, saving something out of every single paycheck. Number two, buy some property. That property will appreciate. That new car that you're going to buy will not. It will depreciate. Now, two of the greatest evils in our society continue to be racism and drugs. Fight racism every time it raises its ugly head, and stay away from drugs and drug dealers. If they don't destroy your life, I promise you, they will make it miserable. Remember always to support your alma mater with your resources, with positive words, and with your prayers. I want you to say to yourselves, I will always support Hampton. I will support with my words, my deeds, and my treasure. And as you leave our home by the sea, remember that you are responsible for sustaining the legacy of the Hampton Empire.
Good morning to our President, Dr. William Harvey, to our commencement speaker, the Honorable John Charles Thomas, the distinguished member of DAIS, faculty, staff, family, friends, and the graduating class of 2014, Onyx 9. When I arrived to the United States from Serbia, I did not imagine having the honor to speak as valedictorian. I'm very thankful for having the opportunity to graduate today from Hampton University and to represent my class. This great experience would not have been possible without the help of the extraordinary people who guided us along the way. On behalf of my class, I would like to thank our families, friends, professors, mentors, who helped us achieve this milestone in our lives. They helped us dream no small dreams and reach a standard of excellence. I charge the class of 2014 to remember those who supported them on this journey, as well as the one that are inspired by them to take a similar path. Dr. Harvey, please know that the class of 2014, Onyx 9, listen to your charge, and we will take heed to your sage advice and go out into the world, for we are prepared to do great things, be somebody, and most of all, let our lives do the singing. We have been greatly protected and loved here at our Hampton University, our home by the sea. Now it is our time to go to sea, explore, and make a difference in the world. As John Augustus Shedd said, a ship in a harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. Onyx 9, congratulations. Thank you.
We'll be back in a moment.
The View from Hampton U, bringing you in-depth interviews, cutting-edge research, amazing sports highlights, faculty and student profiles, and much more.
I'm Stephanie Sutton.
And I'm Joseph Walters.
And you're watching The View from Hampton U.
And now, more from The View from Hampton U.
That was an amazing speech by the Honorable John Charles Thomas. I mean, I really appreciate what he had to say to our graduating seniors.
Definitely. I love the fact how he said, you know, show your love from Hampton outside of Hampton. So however much you love Hampton University, make sure you show that when you matriculate on to your next profession.
I definitely think that we're showing our love to the university, especially by being alumni host of The View from Hampton U, our first season.
Absolutely. It's been an exciting season, and even going back looking at this commencement address, you know, being alumni, commencement speeches mean so much to us.
They really do, they really do. I think the part that I like the most about the speech this year was when the speaker tried to make the correlation between trapeze and transitioning from college life to the real world. Like, you got to keep the momentum going. So, I mean, he was definitely telling the truth about that.
Yeah, I mean, we know from the college world onto the real world, as you say. And it's a lot of things, you know, you can get caught up in. But what kind of advice do you think you can give to some of the graduating seniors as far as how to matriculate from Hampton onto the world beyond?
I think I'd probably tell them to be persistent in whatever it is that they're doing. Don't give up. I mean, things are going to get hard. It takes a long time for some of us to get into our actual careers. I know me personally, it took me years before I actually got my first paying job behind or in front of the camera. So I think that would be my main piece of advice to them.
Yeah.
What would yours be?
I would tell them just to be patient. I think, you know, you say persistence, but I say you have to have patience in that persistence, you know. Sometimes you get out there, you graduate college, like, I'm going to take over the world tomorrow, and then you look, and it's been 5 or 6 years since you graduated, and you're not where you thought you would be. But I think just having the patience and knowing that everything is going to work out how it's supposed to work out, and so be patient in your persistence for the students.
Patience, preparation, persistence, all these P's, all of them.
We learned it at Hampton.
We did. We sure did.
It has been just an amazing season. We got a lot of opportunities to interview a lot of really cool people. I'm pretty sure which our viewers saw. Got to talk to somebody from Bath, England about our study abroad program.
I got to talk to a Rhodes Scholar, or Rhodes Scholar finalist, I should say.
Yes, and I also talked to Dr. Valerie Harvey from Husker, which was really cool to learn about the Skin Care Institute.
Yeah, and then we had another alumni on the show, Olympic bronze medalist Kelly Wells. She came out, she talked to us. That was pretty awesome.
And she's a Hampton alum.
She is. Yeah, she is a Hampton alum.
It's a lot of great people coming from Hampton, and I hope a lot of our graduating seniors do know that. I mean, it's a lot of greatness that comes from Hampton University, or any college for that matter, but we're going to be specific to Hampton University.
Of course, Hampton University, we have that family, that close-knit family atmosphere here, and you know, anytime you see a Hamptonian out and about, you know it's always love, and what are you always greeted with?
The Hampton hug.
That's right, that's right.
Joe, I can't believe we're concluding our first season as hosts. It's been an amazing season. Don't worry, we'll be back next season.
Really?
Yes, we will.
Yes!
And for those of you who want more information, feel free to give us a call or log on to theviewfrom.hamptonu.edu to watch past episodes. We'll see you next season.
Bye-bye.
Did you know the Honorable John Charles Thomas, this year's commencement speaker, friend of Hampton University and native of Norfolk, Virginia, was the first African American and youngest justice to be appointed to the Supreme Court of Virginia in 1983? Justice Thomas received his BA with distinction in 1972 and a Juris Doctorate in 1975 from the University of Virginia. He is a senior partner at the prestigious Hunton & Williams, one of the top law firms in the country. He lectures at the United States Military Academy at West Point and throughout the world. And now you know.
Join us next week for another exciting episode of The View from Hampton U.